Do you see our industry, and this is shifting a little bit to talk about the future, I still want to be on the challenges, but do you see our business model maybe starting to evolve to look more like a professional services model like law firms and CPA firms have kind of grown to, or is that not something that we're likely to see in our industry?
I hope so.
Expound on that.
That's for me, that should be the aspiration, is that the financial advice business is seen as a profession.
Not as a sales industry.
Not as a sales industry. As a profession, all the talk, and I think most of it's just inside baseball, advisor to advisor, around fee models and asset-based fees are the wrong way, and it should be fee for service, all these things. There's something there. I'm not saying that that's not relevant, but it's not the core issue. The core issue is as a profession, you don't, when your doctor sees you and she gives you, consultation and prescribe, you're not saying, I don't. Wait, you want to charge $800? Maybe $600.
Or I'll take this medicine and this medicine, but not that medicine.
Hospital bills, people dispute, and that's fine. That's a product. You can almost look at it as a product. But consultation, professional advice, if you do a good job delivering that, it should be seen as just like doctor, lawyer, accountant. I'm paying a fee, however that fee is calculated. If I feel like it's a fair fee, I'm paying that for the benefit of your advice.
One of the things that drives me nuts, and my team always teases me because they say one of these things is like I have 100 things, but our industry allows advisors to use titles interchangeably. Financial advisor could be a wirehouse person, could be somebody at a large insurance firm, could be an independent RIA like myself. We could have completely different comp structures, completely different incentives. I might be working at a firm that manufactures products, and so therefore I have to sell a certain percentage of them. Talk to me about whether you think that it would be wise for our industry to try and push towards maybe where, again, the other professional services, or we're using medical as an example. This is a good one, right? You don't want to go see a cardiothoracic surgeon when you've got a foot and ankle problem, or maybe the worst, you go and see a foot and ankle person and you've got a problem with your heart, right? When people go and see a doctor, they're going for I know I need to go see this type of doctor. Right. I wonder if our industry needs something like that, and I'm more to the libertarian end of the spectrum of thinking around this, but some definition of, you're a financial advisor, you're a fiduciary. You're a financial representative and you sell products, and that's okay, that's not a bad thing, but you have a different incentive. Do we need something like this? And I know this maybe revolves around the Reg BI and this kind of conversation, but even outside of that, a clearer delineation of roles and titles and what that means? Or is it an education thing?
Yeah, I'm skeptical
Okay.
that's really going to solve it. I don't personally. I don't discriminate in terms of advisors in different channels. There's great advisors at wirehouses, at insurance firms, banks, RIAs, and there's bad advisors in every single channel. Yeah. I guess one of the ways I think about it is I'm excited about more national brands, national RIA brands that through the dint of their scale and awareness, it just starts to convey what good advice should look like, regardless of the title, but raises that awareness of this is the bar, because that does not exist today. The national brands are, like I said, good advisors. Well, they're not on the RIA side.
Not on the RIA side. Yep.
Some starting to get there, starting to see the full page ads and TV commercials with a handful. But just look at the massive deals done in the past year and a half. You're getting more and more firms that are at the 50 billion, 70 billion, and growing. So I think in 5 years it is going to look quite different. And through that, to your point, I think regardless of title, that's going to start to raise awareness.
Yeah. On my side, I agree. I think there's good advisors in every channel. It's just it's a thought I've had around how do we help the consumer sift through all the noise too, right? And can we do that as an industry better? I think,
right.
To your point, raising the standard of excellence, and that being driven by some large, very successful, firms will be helpful.
Right. And it's a challenge because you've got large retail brokerage firms that are claiming that position themselves.
Correct.
I won't name them, but you know who they are.
Yeah.
Big custodians, retail brokerage firms that have advice arms, they are staking that claim and building awareness around CFPs and fiduciaries and all of that. So I think there's a difference between dealing with the CFP and having half an hour access a year to do a basic financial plan, and having somebody, and it goes back to your point about time. I was going to come back to your early career point about 1,000 clients.
Yeah.
What can you do for 1,000 clients? So I see these books at different firms, hundreds and hundreds, and even going the other way, clients, investors that say they work with a financial professional, I think are way exaggerated, because it could be somebody I bought a insurance policy, a product from 6 years ago. I don't have a financial advisor. I might say I did because that's all I needed them for. That's all I thought I needed them for. I just feel like we are so under delivering advice to people. I mean, there's a I don't know, a few million people that are probably in a true advisory relationship today, and we're not doing a good job conveying to them the way that they can engage that works for them, where it's not the traditional world of either you're a complete delegator, the old world, the wirehouse world, or you're a complete do-it-yourself. Today, especially younger people, they want some kind of a hybrid.
Yeah.
You've made that point before, where you could even say to them, look, the asset management part, here's some ways you can handle that, some good firms. I could do that, but it's not the lead. And finding different ways to attract those people and understand the way that they want to engage, because clients want to be more involved with a lot of things, which ends up being a win-win because it frees up the advisor time. I think a lot of advisors, they just think like robo and digital advice, that's the enemy. That's not complementary, versus, wow, if I do that right, that's a better client experience. They're more engaged. They want to be able to turn dials and get involved with that. Frees me up as well to focus on the things that add value.
I think building a service offering for clients, whether they're from backgrounds that didn't have parents that had advisors, I do think that there's more of a socioeconomic issue that's at play, right? I mean, I grew up in a family that didn't have a financial advisor. My dad's a police officer, and my mom homeschooled me, and then went back and was a public school teacher. And it wasn't that they didn't know what financial advisors were. We just didn't probably have the financial resources. So when I was young growing up, I didn't think anything of financial advisor. When I went to college and then started my business, I didn't think anything until one of them came knocking on my door, and I was like, oh, there's a group of people that do this.